Hi, my name is Paroma, and this is Miss Anna Litman, and we're going to walk you through how to write a CV and also how to look for jobs abroad after graduation. Um, so first, we're going to take you this PowerPoint. Okay, so the four things we're going to go through is going to be a short introduction about us, myself and the peer advisors. Then I'm going to hand over to Anna. Then we're going to talk a little bit about going global, and then we're going to have a question and answer session. So my name is Paroma. I'm a senior in SIS, and I am one of 5 peer advisors. And the peer advisors work at the Career Center, and we're sort of there to help guide you through applying to jobs and internships during your time at AU and even after that. So the main things that we do is we have classroom presentations. So those are 10 to 15-minute presentations where we go into classrooms and speak to the students to sort of introduce them to the Career Center and the resources that are available to them. In addition to that, we have drop-in hours in which students can come in for 15 minutes and talk to us about their resumes, their cover letters, if they want to build up their LinkedIn, or if they just have any general career questions. So we have in-person and Zoom office hours, drop-in hours from Monday to Thursday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then outside of that, we have Zoom only hours on Tuesday and Wednesday from 5 to 8 p.m. and Fridays from 1 to 5 p.m. We also do workshops for student organizations on campus, which you can request through a form in our Instagram bio. And we do workshops that are related to career services, but also about resume and cover letters, how to include and how to talk about your club experience in your resume, and how to potentially network using your club experience. So what is Going Global? Going Global is a resource that helps students get oriented to finding jobs and job opportunities abroad. And it also, if you're a US domestic student interested in working abroad, it's a useful resource to you. But if you're an international student interested in working in the US post-graduation, it's also available to you. But for now, I'm going to stop talking and hand it over to Anna, who's going to walk us through how to write a CV. Yeah, thank you so much. There you go, Anna.
Okay, thank you so much, Paroma. And I will share my screen with you because I've prepared a short presentation. Okay, can you see it? So I would start from the beginning. Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so my name is Anna Litman, and I'm a career advisor. I work with Paroma, with other peer advisors, as well as my colleagues, career advisors and employer outreach specialists. And my focus is to work with and provide support to our undergraduate and graduate students in 2 schools, College of Arts and Sciences and School of Education. And so I will be talking to you about how to turn your resume into CV, which stands for curriculum vitae. Sometimes people call it curriculum vitae, for opportunities abroad. And first, I would like to define the words and the kind of the terms that I will be using. So I will be talking about resume, CV, and you probably heard that CVs are used in the US job market along with resumes. And then we also use the word CV when we talk about documents, application documents in other countries. So the job documents, the application documents that we call resumes when we talk about US job market, we mean the documents that recruiters or hiring managers would like to receive from job applicants. And those hiring managers and those recruiters, they are part of not-for-profits or government agencies or businesses. When you want to apply to a job or an internship opportunity with a think tank or academia, you will most likely use CVs. Also, if you apply to graduate school, you will also most likely be applying with CVs. So resume documents in the US are shorter, more focused on the employer needs documents, and CVs can be longer. They are in a way your biography, research project that you've accomplished, publications, awards, the various experiences, leadership experiences. So you don't need to kind of select which one you will include in your CV, because the hiring managers, recruiters, or decision makers, they prefer to read, to know more about you, and they are happy to read and review longer documents. However, US recruiters and hiring managers in businesses, not-for-profit and government organizations, they usually don't spend too much time to review and read thoroughly resumes. They prefer very specific, tailored documents that will highlight the relevance of your experience and the relevance of your skills for specific position that you are applying to. Now, what other countries prefer to get from job seekers? They prefer to receive a document that they call CV. So it doesn't matter whether you apply to a job in a business organization and not-for-profit, a government or academia, the document that you will be sending to apply for an opportunity, that document will be called CV. Okay, now, is it really important to change your resume, your US style resume, into something different, into that kind of CV, when you apply to an opportunity abroad? If your resume is good, it is well written, shows your accomplishments and relevant skills, wouldn't be enough for an hiring manager abroad to make a decision about whether to interview you, hopefully to interview you for the position. Well, actually, it is very important to create a CV to change your US style resume into the CV document that is used into the format that is used in the country where you are applying to the opportunities. So it is very important, because when you send a document that is prepared in the way how it's customary in this country, you show your intercultural skills, you show your and demonstrate the respect for cultural differences. You also demonstrate your research and writing skills. So you have done research, you've learned how CVs are prepared in this country where you're applying to, and you're able to craft your document in that way that will reflect not only your accomplishments, but it will reflect the culture, the hiring culture in that specific country. And it will also show your professionalism, that you understand the differences in professional environments, that you respect and appreciate these differences, and that you are a thorough person. So if you do not do that, so it will demonstrate opposite qualities, not very good qualities, the lack of intercultural skills, the lack of respect, maybe the lack of professionalism, and maybe not so much of the motivation and interest in the position. But I hope that you won't do that. You will use the opportunities that we have here at AU in the Career Center, and will use the resources that we have to prepare good, culturally appropriate application documents when you're looking for opportunities in different countries. So, how to start? Actually, the best starting point is to prepare a good US style resume. Because this document, when you prepare a good US style resume, can provide you a very good kind of foundation, good material that you can then use to create. You reformat it, you will then reorganize it so it will fit country-specific requirements. So let me remind you, I've already mentioned it before, but let me remind you again, what is a good, what are the kind of ingredients of a good US style resume? I'm not going into the details, I just wanted to mention 3 important points. So the good US style resume has 4 or more sections: contact information, education, experience, skills, and could be additional information like leadership experience, extracurricular, volunteering, community service experience. And you present this experience through bullet points. And the bullet points, they are verbal phrases that demonstrate your accomplishments and your relevant skills through keywords and through numbers. And of course, your resume should have no typos. Now, a quick word about keywords. So keywords are nouns or verbs that express the skills or skill areas that employer needs to hire for. So let me give you examples of such keywords. For example, conducted research, digital communication, project management, collaborated, data analytics, social media, international development. See, in my examples, I wanted to show you that it could be a verb like conducted, or verbal phrase conducted research, could be nouns within digital communication, project management. It could be a skill, collaborated. It could be the area, international development. So use the keywords from the job posting and from employer's website to describe your previous experience and accomplishments. So I strongly recommend that you use the language of your future job to describe your previous job or previous experience. Now, the CVs, international CVs or CVs abroad. It's very difficult for me to give you very specific, country-specific features of CVs, because they are in each country. This CV documents, they are different. So I just wanted to mention a couple differences, as well as some similarities. For example, the US style resume is usually created in a reverse chronology. So we start from first we list the most recent, newest experience, and then to old experience. The same kind of style of a reverse chronology is used in many countries, but not in all countries, but in many countries. Next. Picture and personal information. In the US resume, we don't usually include picture, and we do not include personal information. We include contact information. In many countries, pictures and personal information, such as marital status, even the number of kids, it's a standard practice in some European countries, in Asia, but not in UK. In UK, CVs do not include picture or personal information. Then profile section. Sometimes we also can include a profile section in the US style resume, but it's not like a customary. However, this profile section, and usually that's how it's called, profile, is a common part of the CV in many countries. And that profile section includes, may include goals and values, along with skills and accomplishments. It's not a long section, it's a section, maybe 4, 5, or 6 sentences, and usually you start with I. I am, and maybe first you will kind of summarize, not summarize, but kind of present your expertise. Maybe you will say, I am a data scientist, or I am a research assistant, or I am a digital communication specialist. And then you will continue with describing your goals, your values, and your skills and your interests. Don't forget to use British spelling when you prepare a CV for opportunities in UK, Australia, or Ireland. In Canada, use US spelling. Then length, of a CV is different than typical length of a US resume. US resumes are usually 1 page or 2 pages long, but CVs in many countries are longer. 2 pages is kind of typical, but it could be longer. In some countries, it could be 4 and 5, 4 or 5 pages. And also use A4 page format. And of course, the best resource to find out about specific differences, specific requirements and formats, it's Going Global. We have it available to you, so please use this resource. If you have any questions about this resource, our wonderful PAs, Paroma and her colleagues, they're more than happy to walk you through this resource and help you identify and discuss with you specific requirements of CVs in this or that country. And to kind of sum up, give you some more tips about how to make your CV stand out. So first, use country-specific practices, and find about them in Going Global. Describe your accomplishments. That's what you do in your US style resume. You do the same thing in your international CV. Accomplishments, using keywords, using numbers to quantify your accomplishments, and then easy to read, nicely formatted, nicely organized document. That will be definitely a winner. And before submitting, don't forget to read out your application document. Read it out loud to proofread for typos and grammar mistakes. And review your document for consistent formatting. So thank you so much for your attention. Please come to see us, your career advisors and your peer advisors, and we'll be more than happy to help you start your career journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Yeah, so like Anna said, I'm just sharing my screen again. Like Anna said, there is a lot of variance between applications and jobs in nation and countries. So Going Global is actually a really great resource for that. Four of the main things that Going Global is useful for is one, looking at job and internship listings. Like here, it has over 16 million listings that you can filter based on what position you're looking for, what kind of industry you're looking for. And you can also look into country specifically. Very useful. It also has location-specific career guides, which are always updated, and they're updated by people who are experts in the area. So it not only has common professional practices, whether that be CVs or interviewing practices, but also more in terms of living as well. So common phrases, common business practices, and stuff that might be useful to you if you do decide to move to that country to work. In addition to that, they have corporate profiles, which is profiles on over 400,000 employers across 196 countries. It provides you with information about the employers, what they do with their website, stuff like that. And if you're an international student in the US who wants to work here after graduating, it also has a H-1B visa search engine where you can search for employers who have in your industry recently been giving out or been helping employees get H-1B visas. So it's all very helpful. This is just like a snapshot of what it provides you. There is so much available on Going Global. And you can also find that for yourself, which is why I'm going to show you now how you can access Going Global. So when you log on to Handshake, you can press the little Career Center button in the corner, and it will take you to this page where you can click on Resources. And then under Resource Library, you can search for Going Global. When you click on it, it will take you to a, page like this, where I'm going to take you now. So okay, that should work now. So once you reach this page, you can either see Going Global or the career guide. So we're just going to go to Going Global in general. You don't need a login for it, but AU does provide access to it. So you can create an account if you want to save your searches, if you want to save anything else you've been working on. So this is the home page. Like I said, there's career guides, there's jobs and internship listings, there's H-1B visas, there's employer directories. And there's a lot available for you. There's also little resources over here about how to use Going Global, because it seems very intimidating sometimes because there's just so much on there. And yeah, that's sort of it. I think applying to work abroad is a very scary prospect, and it seems very intimidating because there's so much work involved, because you have to look into basically starting a new life. You have to prepare new application materials, but it is very doable, and there are a lot of resources that the Career Center is so happy to provide to help guide you through that experience and make it a little less scary and a little more enjoyable. So yeah, thank you so much for attending. Like I said, the Career Center has advisors that you can come meet with. We also have peer advisors. You can reach us over email at aupeeradvisors@gmail.com, or you can reach out to us on our Instagram, which is just instagram.com/auccpas. And thank you so much to Anna. I really appreciate you coming out here, and I thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, Paroma.